Welcome to Gingerspyce's review, tips, and picks for the 12th anniversary party event. This event is going to be going on until March 11th. Here I am as a drow. Yes, I'm working through my drow lives now. Haven't done a video in a few days. There's a ban going on right now, so I haven't been banned because I haven't posted a video in about 5 days. I suspect that some of my viewers are wondering, did Gingerspyce get banned? No. Actually didn't know anything about it, but that's a whole other story. So, the 12th anniversary event has some really cool things. I'm going to be going over some of the new items. I'll be glossing over some of the items that were already there from previous years, and I want to mention some things that I want you to take particular note of, because there are some really cool things available. If you're totally new to the event, the entrance to the challenge is right here, this little floaty thing in front. It's hard to see because everybody's blocking it, and then the challenge trader is right over here, Tolero. I'll also mention that if you haven't logged on in the last week or so and you're out of the loop of what's going on, everybody got a piece of 12-year-old cake here, which you can click on to select from I think it's 5 different cosmetics, and they all look generally the same. It's just different styles for like medium armor, heavy armor, Dawson, etc. So if you haven't seen those, I'll put a link in the video to what those look like. There are some people here standing around that have that cosmetic on, so let's just take a quick look at that. Oh, that guy just logged off, but here, this guy has the new cosmetic. If you like cosmetic, I think they're pretty good looking. I think that's the outfit of it there. But it's free, and it's not bad looking if you're into that sort of thing. So let's take a look at some of the things that are available here. Definitely some things that I picked up. So Captain of Bling, I don't even remember if that was in years past, but if you want a pirate hat, you can get that for 80 of the party favors. And when you do this challenge, by the way, you're going to get 5, 6, 7, or maximum 8 of these party favor things. And you're going to use those to trade them in to get these reward items. This is a new item, the commemorative Stormreach D12. This basically acts like your key to the city of Evening Star, except it takes you to the marketplace. So this is a really nice item. It's minimum level 1 for like heroic level, lowby heroic levels. If when you don't have the high enough UMD to use teleport scrolls, or even before level 7 when you get teleport scroll use at level 7. So before that, if it's a quick way to get around. So it's kind of expensive at 100 favors, but it is it could be a real nice convenience item. So I think that's a really cool ad this year. You get a little purple kobold shaman certificate. I don't know if that was there last year, but he is pretty cool looking if you like cosmetic pets. The next item is the Sentient Jewel of the Kobold. This is really, really cool. There were a lot of people on the forums asking for a Sentient Jewel with a kobold voice, and I don't have much personal experience with it. I've had some feedback from some guildies who said, like it's all new script. It's not just rehashes. They didn't just take sound bites from from the challenges and put them all together. Like it's a totally new script just for the Sentient Jewel, and it's from what I've heard, it's a positive kobold script. It's not like it's not telling you that kobold hates you all the time or anything like that. So unfortunately, I did pick one of these up, but unfortunately I can't use it because here I am running through heroic levels. So the only thing I've personally heard is when I'm feeding it, I have it here slotted up in my epic Kronzek's cruelty. So when I finally get done with my racials, which I'm not far away from, I'll start using that. It's pretty expensive, but if you get in a good group, you can knock these out really quick. You can definitely do these in less than 5 minutes per run with a good group. What is also particularly cool about this is the first Sentient Jewel available to those who do not have Ravenloft. All the other Sentient Jewels are only available from Ravenloft right now. But Ravenloft is going to be available in the DDO store supposedly this month. So look for that soon. In any event, this is a really neat limited time availability item. So if that interests you, grind it out. Okay. The first light is something that was there last year, I think the last couple of years, so I don't know that it's a particularly interesting item, but take a look at it. If it suits your fancy, then go for it. Cookie cutter is another item that was there in years past. So like I said, I'm just gonna be glossing over some of these items that were here before. Severland's leaden boots. Some of this stuff was definitely more interesting when it first came out a couple years ago, but we've gotten higher stats since then, so some of it is definitely not as interesting as it was a couple years ago. But you have these items available for a variety of level ranges, like every 5 levels. Severland's Iron Fist is the same from previous years. The thick skin is also the same from previous years. No worries, the heavy armor is the same. The motherboard is a new item for this year. This is a tower shield, and it is made of wood, so druids can use, which is interesting because there aren't a lot of tower shield options for druids. So in any event, take a look at the different levels, and if that's something that interests you, make sure you take some time to grind it out. You still got about a week and a half of this event. Next is a series of caster sticks that are pretty interesting. These are new this year, and they have them for a variety of different damage types. So here's the level 5 one for fire, and the stats are pretty competitive by today's standards. This can definitely be a nice item. There's one available for every 5 levels. I also want to say that unlike some other challenges, you don't have to upgrade the item. You're just buying whatever version you want outright. So if you want the level 20 version, you just buy the level 20 version outright for 60 party favors. You don't have to buy the 5 and then upgrade it to 10, then upgrade it to 15, then upgrade it to 20, like you have to with some other challenges or special events. So there's a version. They have really funny names. I just love it. Flaming Forum Post and then Icy Forum Post. So this is the cold damage version. So you've got your spell power, your crit chance, and they also have an insightful evocation bonus, and it's got wizardry, it's got a slot. So like I said, it's a pretty nice item. Take a look at those. If you're looking for a decent caster stick, this is not a bad option. And somebody was just recently asking me what would be a good option for like a Lobby epic level sentient caster stick, and I said, well, take a look at these. You could definitely make the level 20 version sentient, and if you can, if there's a damage type that's appropriate for your caster, this could definitely be a decent option for Lobby, for a Lobby epic sentient weapon, until you get to a little bit higher up and get your capped weapons. So here's your version: the shocking forum post for electric damage. You get the caustic forum post for acid damage, and then you get the necrotic forum post for negative energy. So those are really cool items. Definitely take a look at those if you are a caster and do any of those damage types. The next is another new item, the Banhammer. This is an amazing item. It doesn't say there, but I actually picked one up for myself. So here you can see it's minimum level 15, and it's basically got all sort of your standard insta-kill effects right there on one weapon. We've never seen a weapon like that have it all in one place before. Improved Vorpal, improved Manishing, improved Smiting, improved Disruption. That is incredible, and this could be a really, really awesome weapon for anybody who swings a weapon in like upper heroics, especially for Reaper mode. Remember in Reaper mode that if you score a Vorpal hit, and it's something that can be affected by Vorpal, Banishing, Smiting, Disruption. If you hit a 20, they're dead. It doesn't matter how much damage reduction they do. It doesn't matter, or they have. It doesn't matter if you're on R10 and you're doing really diminished damage. Like that Vorpal hit is going to insta-kill them unless they have Death Ward. Really, really awesome item. Had to pick myself up one. It also has anchoring on it, so that's an ability that I think the only other item in the game that has that is the Boots of Anchoring, which are your Tower of Despair boots to make sure you don't get banished out of Tower of Despair when you're fighting Horoth at the end. So I guess you could use this item in Tower of Despair in the last fight to make sure you don't get banished. It's kind of a weird add to this weapon. Not sure why they did it. This anchoring effect also makes it so that you can't be hasted. So if you didn't know that and you're using this item and you're wondering why the heck am I not getting hasted, it's because that anchoring effect is preventing that. You also have a slot as well. So this is a really awesome weapon. If that interests you, definitely pick it up. I love it. You know, that's something that you know, even on my caster druid here, I will be using that situationally for upper heroics for sure. So, awesome, awesome item. The next is the rose-colored goggles, which at first glance you might be thinking, this is stupid. It's 10 party favors, and when you equip it, it just says like there's an icon in your buff bar. It says like your level cap is now 10. So I mean, it's a minimum level 30 item. You can only wear it at cap. It is actually kind of an interesting cosmetic. I don't have one to show you, but it's a pair of sunglasses, kind of darker sunglasses, and they are kind of cool. I didn't recognize the graphic. I think it's a new cosmetic. So take a look at that. But what is particularly interesting about this and awesome about this is that it is a minimum level 30 item, so this is great food to feed to your sentient weapon, and it's only 10 favors, so you can just grind out the party, buy a bunch of these, and feed them to your sentient weapon. So there's a lot of people farming this event right now for that. Going on until the 11th, so farm out some party, feed your sentient weapons. This is probably the best farm in the game right now for that. Some of you may be watching this video. So why are you discussing this in the video? It's working as intended. The cat's already out of the bag. People are posting forum posts about it. So this isn't some kind of an exploit, but definitely an awesome farm to feed your sentient weapon. So I've been doing. One of the reasons why I haven't made a video in the last 5 days is because I've been doing. Well, one, I just finished, you know, a series, and so I'm kind of at a lull in between things. But I've just been farming this party just nonstop. I've been quite the zombie over the last 5 or so days, just party, 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 party all the time. Tinfoil Hat, this is just a little funny cosmetic party hat. The Broccoli Basher, this was here before, but worth mentioning, it is a great ooze beater. There's only a level 25 version, unfortunately. Maybe they just didn't want it to compete with Muckbane and Muckdoom at lower levels. I don't know, but for a level 25 ooze beater, it is very cool. It's also a funny cosmetic. It's literally, you know, it looks like that. It's a stalk of broccoli, or a cluster of broccoli. I don't know what the proper terminology is there. So the Steel's Eternal Flasks of various coffee. These are interesting. They're kind of funny. They provide you some temporary benefits that last 90 seconds. So this Eternal Flask of Icy Pumpkin Coffee gives you plus 10 festive bonus to jump, spellcraft, and balance. In addition, you gain the benefits of Blur Spell, plus 10 festive bonus to will saves versus sleep, 25% festive bonus to rune arm charge rate. These effects last for 90 seconds. But the cooldown is 90 seconds, so you can just keep drinking it to get the effects, which you would want to do because there are ridiculous penalties when it wears off. So if you look at the bottom, it says on effect expiration, your movement speed is reduced by 15%, your dodge is reduced by 20, your will saves versus sleep are reduced by 30, and your jump score is reduced by 40. And it says these negative effects last until you rest or drink one of Steel's Eternal Coffees again. So like I said, it lasts 90 seconds, the cooldown's 90 seconds, so you can just keep drinking it. So definitely a neat clicky for like a boss fight or something. If you really like clickies, I suppose you could just keep clicking it every 90 seconds as you're going through the dungeon. The next one is the Super Bold Blend Coffee. I don't remember this one from last year because I feel like I would have gotten this. I'm not positive it's new for this year, but it definitely doesn't stand out in my mind. This one's really cool, and I did pick up one for myself. It gives you a 100 festival bonus to unconscious range, a plus 10 festive bonus to intimidate, plus 10 festive bonus to tumble, 75% festive bonus to hate from melee and range attacks, plus 5 festive bonus to fortitude saves. And just like the other, all the coffees, they last 90 seconds. The cooldown's 90 seconds. They have ridiculous penalties on expiration, but they go away as soon as you just drink it again. And so you could just keep clicking it. The reason why this one is of particular interest to me is because I like to run these sort of like quasi-tank kind of tunes, like non-traditional tanks, like Druid Caster tank and Warlock and Light and Spirit tank, and I struggle to get my Intimidate up high enough to get some of the very top-end raid bosses. So, for example, like Legendary Elite ZZ and Hound of Zoriat, I don't quite have no-fail Intimidate checks versus ZZ, I have to get like a 10 or better. So that can be a little irritating if you intimidate a few times in a row and you get low rolls, you know, and ZZ's running around or something. So this is, you know, that's an example of when I would use this on Gingerspyce and Voodoo if I was tanking Legendary Elite ZZ and I wanted to make sure that I had no fail intim checks. A +10 festive bonus to intimidate is really cool. And you know, for a tank, 100 festive bonus to unconscious range, that's really huge too. And especially if you had like the legendary green steel item that increases your unconscious range by like 300 something. I mean, this is another 100 on top of that. You'd have to be taken down to almost negative 500 hit points before you actually died if you had that item and you had this going. So pretty cool. And then the third and final Eternal Coffee thing gives you a +10 festive bonus to diplomacy. Listen, 75% bonus to hate reduction with melee and range attacks, a 5 festive bonus to will saves. Not a particularly interesting one, but you have that option. And then finally we have some cookies here. These are the same as years past. The chocolate chip cookie, it says right there at the bottom what it does. Casts greater vigor, kind of a neat healing option, I suppose. Sugar cookie, this just has a cosmetic, like the confetti effect. That's the effect that's going on Noah Bin 4 right here, right now. That's just a little confetti that pops around. I think it just lasts like a minute. It's just kind of a silly item. Peanut butter cookie, this gives you a +1 festive bonus to all stats for 15 minutes. That's really cool. Minimum level 1. The only other festive bonus to stats, I believe, are the augments that came from Night Rebels, and that's just to, you can get a +1 wisdom augment and a +1 intelligence augment. So, you know, if those are the only stats you're interested in, this would be meaningless into epic levels, but this is certainly a pretty neat clicky for a consumable. It's not a clicky, it's a consumable for like maybe heroic levels, or even beyond that. You know, you can get a +1 festive bonus to like con, so if you're tanking or something and you want that a little extra boost, then this is pretty neat. Oatmeal raisin cookie. This is just a kind of a joke item. All this does when you eat it is give you like a -2 to your constitution. I think it's like a -1 or something. I can't remember, but not something you'd want to stock up on. It's just a joke item. And the next item is the raspberry linzer cookie. This is the same as the other one that gives you the +1 festive bonus to all stats for 15 minutes. So that's all the items available in the party event. Some really cool things added this year. So make sure that you don't miss out. And now I'm going to go ahead and do a run through of the party. If you want maximum party favor rewards, which is 8 is the highest you can get, you need to do it at 5 levels over your level. So I'm level 13. I am going to do this at level 18. I think if you do it at level, you get like 5 favors for doing all the optionals in here, and if you do it like 1 to 2 levels over, you get like 6, and then I think 3 to 4 levels over, you get 7, and then 5 levels over, you get 8. Nope. There are some new flavor things happening. I'm not going to go over all of that. Some new, you know, NPCs and different features in the dungeon, in the party dungeon here that are newly added this year. So if you like that kind of flavor stuff, take a few minutes to come in here and poke around. Some of this stuff is kind of funny. Maybe I'll turn on the DM voice for this. Talk to Scrag to get things started.
The kobold points inside. Find evil overlord! Stop kobolds and peoples from fighting!
So some of your flavor NPCs are over here. Don't miss out on these. These are really easy to overlook, but you can click on all those guys to see the funny things they have to say. I also love how, and I don't remember this from years past, I'm pretty sure this is new this year, but you've got the portrait of Strahd there, and the dude here out of I can't even remember where Graz is from. I think it's the final one in the Mines of Tethiamar. And Elminster here, and they're playing Dungeons and Dragons, tabletop Dungeons and Dragons. It's so cool. And then these guys over here, a guildie of mine just pointed out that these are the characters from the the trailer that advertises the game, which is a really cool trailer. If you've never seen that, you know, when you first install the game, it plays, but yeah, you can find it on YouTube. But if, like I said, if you like the flavor and the funny things that NPCs say, there's lots of things to poke around and do in here. And you've also got the Oracle of Wisdom, but that's in the Hall of Heroes now, so it's not unique to this event. And you also have, I'm not going to spoil it for you, but make sure you check out the strange blueprints and the Taroka cards over there too. Alright, so you've got all the different developers that you want to beat to get maximum party favor. So here's Steel Star. He's a bastard. He stuns like crazy, so I like to hit him with a few spells and then duck below these stairs and then wait for my SLAs to come off cooldown and then hit him again and then hit him again and jump back, and then I think my dots are going to finish him off. Oh, my dots were off. One more Call Lightning should do it. Alright. There's also a chest back there that, I don't know if it's always, I think it's always a mimic. I'm not really sure. I'm just going to be going over the essentials. So that's Steel Star, and then let's do Cordovan next. Cordovan's a bastard too. He's a bastard because he's such a good self-healer that if you're not hitting him pretty hard, his self-healing can be pretty hard to overcome. When you first step in, you're going to hit that mist, and it's going to teleport you to like a random place in the room, like one of the corners, or even right here by him. So make sure you're hitting him fast and hard, otherwise he's just going to out-heal the damage that you're doing. Another great thing about this event is there are so many collectibles available. So get in on that. There's like a dozen available per run. So there's an adventure pack here. There's not any in Steel Star's room. Also, if you get hit by the bees here, not the bees, then you just need to go over here to the corner, little bathtubs, and then you can wash that off. When this first, because this is added this year, I think, and then so when that first happened to me, I tried to go to the fountain out in the foyer, and you can't get in the fountain. I was like, what the hell? But then you get these rooms back here. Here's another collectible. These the little bathtubs back here. There's one in that corner too, one in each corner. See if you get hit by the honey. Okay, so Cordovan's taken care of. Now we're gonna go do Severlin next. If you spike a red dungeon alert, these devs are like twice as bastardy as they normally are. So if you run this, then you know it's really easy to spike a red dungeon alert because of the way the running part works. But Severlin is definitely, he has overcome me, you know, when there was a red dungeon alert. Oh, and there's a collectible right here. One in this room. There's Torque as well. There's no value in killing Torque. You just want to kill these, like here it says defeat Severlin, defeat Vargwil.
The vanquished warrior gives you one last
yes, I know there are some safe spots, but
it won't be so
I don't usually show things like safe spots in my videos. So if you want to try to figure those things out on your own or whatever, that's your business. Perfectly ordinary door. This will become accessible later on after the run is done. And then the last dev that's in access through the foyer is Vargwil, who's back here. A whole bunch of collectibles back here. There's also lily petals there in the foyer. I don't know if those have really a lot of value, and there's some here too. The flowering plants give you lily petals, but I'm not going to bother with those. Like I said, I don't think they're really used for anything valuable. I don't think they're used in any Kenneth crafting. So adventure pack there, cabinet there. Where's my true seeing? Do I even have my true seeing scrolls? Shame on me. That's okay, we'll just go around. There's a secret passage right there. But apparently even with my high wisdom I can't spot it. These wraiths are bastards because they do cyclonic blast, which will knock you down. Very easy to become overcome in here. Barguil's not particularly tough. He is a caster, but what can be challenging about this dev is that, you know, if you keep getting knocked down by the cyclonic blast, then, you know, there's not really anything you can do. You keep getting knocked down over and over and over, and then you just eventually get overcome. So there's a collectible there, another one here. And Barguil can be in any one of these rooms. He can even be in the bathroom, which you can get through there. I want to make sure that you know that the bathroom has shrines. See the little toilet paper roll? There's a resurrection shrine, and then on the other side is a rest shrine right there. There's also a secret passage right there, which I can't spot, and I don't know where my true seeing scrolls are. Probably still in the TR cache. There are no collectibles in the bathroom, but there are a couple here. People, in one of my most requested videos has been the how to make money, and collectibles are a great way to do that. This is a great collectible farm. So if you can, you know, gather a bunch of collectibles and then, you know, post them on the shard exchange or something. But the reason why, as I've explained when I've got those comments requesting that video, the reason why I haven't made a video like that is because what is valuable shifts over time. You know, like a couple years ago, slave lords ingredients were like the hot thing, you know, but you know, and you could still sell those for decent amounts, but they're not as hot as they were. Just the market changes, and the different things become hot at different times. So you know, if I were to make a video giving you my tips for, you know, what items to farm out and stuff like that to make money, 6 months later that stuff could become irrelevant. So had a shrine here, and you talk to Harbor Master Zin. Just want to get my mana back, and go through the door here, and now you're going to make the run. So ideally, you'll have a person doing each one of the devs. You have a full party, you know, and hopefully you can have a person that can solo each one of the devs, and then one person that can make this run. And like I said, you can easily do this event in under 5 minutes per run. You can do it in considerably less than 5 minutes per run. So here you can invis run portions of this. Invis myself and just run by this stuff. If you don't have invis, then you know you can spend a lot of time fighting through this. So this is, you know, ideal for somebody who can sneak through and somebody who is quick, like a monk, for example. Watch the bear traps. I'm immune to those because I'm in elemental form. I'm gonna re-invis. Arcane spell failure. So this is the part, because, you know, you're running past so much stuff to make it efficient. This is the part where, like, you can really spike a dungeon alert and make it a lot harder on the rest of your party. I'm just gonna go ahead and beat some mobs down to keep the DA down a little bit. Nobody else wants to bunch up, so we're just going to keep going. I'm going to re-invis. And we're going to come up here. There's a collectible on the back wall, same location as it is when you do party crashers. Reagents cabinet. Make sure you don't forget to pick up that if you're the one doing the run. I'm not normally the one that does the run when I'm doing this with the guildies, so there could be important tips that I'm missing here. So make a comment if you think I'm missing an important tip about this run. And then you want to come over here to the stage and drop down where there's a bunch of skeletons of dead, well, not dead devs. They're dead here, but in real life, I guess they're just former devs. There's also a collectible here, and you got to come down here to get this key that's over here, this silver key. But you can just grab it real quick and get out. come over here and use that key to unlock this gate. I'm gonna re-invis. Come over here, and then open up this gate, and then I'm gonna kill these kobolds here.
Jeets thinks that becoming a dark overlord will
I guess you don't actually have to kill the kobolds here to talk to Jeets. So in any event, talk to Jeets there, and then you're gonna come back out here, and you're coming out of the perfectly ordinary door. That guy there. So we're upstairs in the foyer right now, and now we have to speak with Militia in the ballroom to advance things. Militia, also known as my fiance.
Oh, all right, sighs Militia. I'll help you with your pathetic little friend.
So if you're doing this in the group, probably someone would be down there waiting to talk to her as soon as she was accessible. So as soon as somebody finished the run. Then you're coming back through this door into the end fight. And then you talk to Militia, and you go into Jeets' mind, and you get to see what Jeets is thinking about, which is Militia. Same thing I'm thinking about too. And you talk to Jeets to activate things.
What's on Jeets' mind? Militia is not amused.
And all you gotta do here is kill Jeets. There's going to be some animated dingies. You don't have to worry about that stuff. Although it's easy to get overwhelmed here. Some of that stuff is pretty intense. As soon as Jeets is done, or dead, it's complete, and then you can D-door out or teleport out. So I always just teleport right back to House P. And that's done. And I just got myself 8 party favors. So if you've been dragging your feet on the event, or if you haven't taken a look at it, there's definitely some cool items that are available. So don't miss out. You have until March 11th. I'm going to pick up a set of those goggles, and I'm going to put them on so you can see the cosmetic. Oh, no, I can't because they're minimum level 30. Oh, well, I guess I'll just feed it to my sentient weapon here. And yes, I know that you guys have requested a video on sentient weapons, which I do want to do. 300 XP for that bad boy, and you're getting if you do all, if you're getting 8 per run, 8 party favors per run, you can almost get a set of those goggles per run. So don't miss out, guys. Thanks for watching. You have any questions about my videos, you can respond on YouTube.